What is up, Boo Gang? What is up, Boo Gang, Boo Gang? And it's your girl, Ariel Michelle, aka Barbie the Goddess. And we are going to jump into this video. As you saw the title, yes, your girl can get spiritual, and she is very spiritual as well. Spirituality over tradition is bomb, okay? I'm gonna let that sink in. Did it sink? It sunk? Okay. So these are just like my personal experiences. If it, resonates with you, then it do. And if it don't, I still love you, boo. But yeah, so sign number one that you are growing spiritually is you are spending time with a higher power. Taking time with that higher power, whether if it's the universe, your ancestors, your spiritual guides. For me, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord, so I have been spending a lot of time with God. I have been doing a lot of praying, a lot of fasting, a lot of meditating and stuff with Him. And because I am doing that, I can definitely tell my spiritualness and my spirituality has just completely grown. And this is going to lead into sign number two. Because I've been spending more time with the higher power and meditating and fasting, I have now become more aware with my spiritual self and my physical self. The awareness in my spiritual self is I've always been like a reader. Like I could read a person real quick, energy wise and everything. I can do that. But since I've been spending more time with my higher power, my awareness in spirituality has gone up. Like I can read people's vibes before they even come in. If you tell me like a person's name, I don't know them, but I can feel like their feelings, or just kind of like I'm just in tune more. Like my spiritual awareness is definitely like a high for me. I want it to get, even higher. But yeah, that's definitely like a sign, because my spiritualness has, I can read vibes and energy. And your spiritualness is simply like, for some people that like are energy workers, like you can pick up on people's energy like real fast. Like normally you pick up on it like before they, like when you're talking to them, but now you're picking it up before they even get to you. You can read their energy and this, that, and the third. And the awareness in my physical self is like whenever I'm praying and meditating and just doing those type of things, I'm like, ooh, I got a little back pain, or ooh, my knees kind of hurt, or oh, I've noticed I can get into a stretch deeper because I'm stretching and my breathing has gotten better. So it's like the awareness increases within your spiritual self and in your physical body as well, and you're noticing more things because you're taking that time. And then because of spending time with the higher power has brought more awareness, it also brings, which is sign number 3, like increased spiritual connection with your spiritual man, spiritual woman, or spiritual being. If you are a man, you are more connected to your spiritual man. If you're a woman, you're more connected to your spiritual woman. If you're like unidentified, or if you don't want to do genders and stuff, you're more in tune with your spiritual being. And pretty much that increase, spiritual connection. It's like your intuition kind of. Those feelings where it's like, something's not right about the situation, I should go. Those gut feelings. I personally believe whenever you have those gut feelings, that is like your spiritual man, your spiritual woman, spiritual being that's just kind of telling you like, hey, it's time to go. This is not right. Da 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 da. Just giving you those warnings and stuff, or even giving you like that push that you need to go do it, And of course, everything I'm talking about is of the light. We are of the light and of positive energy. We don't do nothing crazy. So, no, we don't do that. So, yeah. And also because now we're getting to sign number 4 that you are growing spiritually is you'll have the ability to forgive others and yourself. Because I have spent more time with God and I become more aware of my spiritual self and more aware of my physical self, I've also become more aware of things that people have done to hurt me and then things that I have done to hurt people. I'm not saying like I'm intentionally hurting people, no. But like if you said something wrong and you hurt someone's feelings and you didn't, apologize for it, or, you fell out with a friend, or, you was in a relationship and you wasn't really doing the best. So having that ability to forgive yourself and forgive others, because forgiveness is the key, y'all. If you don't forgive a person, you give that person power over you. And I know you're probably like, no, ain't nobody got power over me. I ain't got time for that. You better sit down, take several seats. No. If you don't forgive a person, first of all, if you don't forgive a person, that person has power over you. Because whenever you think about that situation, you're upset, you're in your feelings, you get mad, you hate that person all over again, this, that, and the third. When you don't forgive yourself, doubt comes in, negative energy comes in. Doubt, negative energy, depression can come in. Some people might even be like suicidal thoughts if they don't forgive themselves for, whatever things that they have done. So I feel like my spiritual level has grown because I have a better ability to forgive others and myself. Because I look back on certain situations and I'm like, you know what? That person did me wrong. I was upset about it. But now when I think of that situation, I just forgive and let go because it's the past. There's literally nothing I can do about it. And there's nothing I can do about it. And then it's like, what's done is done. So what are you going to do to move forward? I know some people that'll tell me things and they're like, when I was a child, this and this, that happened. When, because of this person, this and this and that happened. And I completely understand that definitely brought pain. It brought trauma. It brought on a lot of, negative energy and stuff. But it's kind of like, when it's been like, 2 years ago, 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 years ago, to me, just hear me out, but this is where I feel like, okay, yes, that person did that to you, but they did that to you like 20 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 2 years ago. They're still living their life while you are holding on to all this negative energy, to all this pain. And it's just kind of like, you need to forgive. You need to let go. Get therapy, pray about it. Take time, meditate on it, and release it. And I'm telling you, when you do that and you forgive other people and forgive yourself, like it's just a different type of feeling. It's a different type of lightness you feel within your body. Like for me, being able to forgive others and to forgive myself, it lifted that veil of heaviness and darkness and, just bad and sad negative energy. It lifted that veil. So I knew I was growing spiritually when I was just able to like think of certain situations, and I didn't even get bothered. I didn't even get fazed about it. And I'm gonna just say this as a side note. You can forgive people without having closure. I know a lot of people like having closure, but to be honest, I feel this is my personal thoughts. I feel when you want closure with something, closure brings more confusion, because it's very rare to have closure with somebody and it ends in a peaceful way. Because, some people try to have, closure with a person that done them wrong in a relationship. But then when they see that person, the feelings come all over again, and they're still mad at them. But then it's like that love kind of comes for them, for that person that did them wrong. And it's like, even though in your mind this is not the best relationship, you're not supposed to, be here and be feeling the way you're feeling, but yet because you wanted this closure, now you're like, well, maybe we can make it work again. But you've already sought an intention in your mind to better yourself and not go back to those situations. So that's what I mean by closure. And then 2, everyone is not going to feel the way that you feel. Like I had, and I'll tell y'all that story later. But pretty much I had someone that did me wrong, and it did hurt. But my thing is, and people say like, maybe we should get closure, maybe we should talk about it. It's so hard to try to talk to somebody that thinks they are right, or trying to convince a narcissist that they're wrong. You're just talking to a wall, and actually you're going to feel worse and feel more confused, or even feel more frustrated. So that's why I feel like sometimes closure is not needed. Closure equals confusion to me, depending on the situation. If your spiritual man, spiritual woman, spiritual being is agreeing with you and saying you need that closure just to get over it, then I will go with that. But what I will say is, you don't have to physically see that person to do closure. You can send a letter. You can write a letter and then burn it up. You can write a letter and then put it in the water, like in a riverbank, and let it flow. And then you're imagining letting go of that situation. So there's other ways to have closure than have that face to face. There's nothing wrong with having closure kind of spiritually, but I feel like when you're trying to have closure face to face with the person, it can bring on more confusion, especially if that person doesn't realize they're wrong. Now, if the person realizes they're wrong and then you want to have closure and then it can just be peaceful, I'm all for that. But the person has to realize, the things that they did. That's all I have to say. But I digressed. But anyway, like I said, having the ability to forgive others and myself, I've noticed that. Sign number 5, excuse me, focusing on yourself. Yes, self-love. I know that I was growing spiritually when I started focusing on myself a little bit. And people might call it selfish or whatever, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Focusing on yourself is a great thing, because I was focusing on myself. I'm still focusing on myself. And it's like I started setting goals, but not only I'm setting goals, I'm also achieving them. I have noticed my body has connected with my mind. My mind has connected to my spiritual woman. My spiritual woman has connected to my higher power, in that order. So because of that divine alignment, which is something that's what I would call it, that divine alignment, whatever I set my mind to for goals, I am achieving them. And I'm actually achieving them faster because of that alignment. And I feel like this is something that can happen to anyone, but I feel like I said, it can happen in time. Because like I said, me 2-3 years ago probably wouldn't be ready for this type of shift that I'm in now in 2021. 2019 me, the beginning of 2019 me would not been ready for 2021 me now, because the mindset that I had back then, if I had those opportunities and I had those connections and this, that, and that, the mindset I was in, I would have lost everything. I would have lost it. But because of time and growing and learning and forgiveness, now I'm at where I'm at now. And the divine connection, divine alignment is just there, and things are just happening at a faster pace. So yes, and then my last and final sign that you are growing spiritually is you have peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Thank you, Lord. But yes, you're having peace, and it's just pretty much like the peace you have. It's like you can have a bad day but still have peace. You can have a good day and be at peace. Nothing really shifts you like that. And not saying you're not going to have a bad day. You're not going to have some knucklehead doing something crazy. But it's like now you have peace and you know how to handle situations better. You're not, act up, you can get smashed up. It's like now you're like, okay, you know what? Last time I did act up, you can get smashed up. It didn't work out for me. So now what I'm going to do is I realize this is not the best situation for me to be in. So now I'm going to remove myself from this situation. And if y'all want to be crazy and have this type of energy, negativity or whatever, and have these low vibrations, y'all can do that. But you can do that by yourself. And you're not going to bring me down. Like that type of peace. Or if you have like a lot of kind of stressful things or tasks and stuff going on, now you're just like, okay, well, let's get it done. So yeah, you just have that type of peace. And okay, I think that is it. So yeah, signs that you are growing spiritually is the first sign you are spending time with you're spending more time with your higher power. Sign number 2, because of spending more time with your higher power, you have increased awareness in your spiritual self and your physical self. Sign number 3, you have an increased connection with your spiritual man, woman, or being, and I would just kind of say heightened intuition. Sign number 4 is you have the ability to forgive others and yourself. Sign number 5, you are focusing on yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And sign number 6 is you have peace. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so more blue things like you can come into the dollhouse and we can chat it up, we can talk it up, we can have tea and crumpets and cucumber sandwiches and all those goodies. But I pray that y'all have a blessed day. Namaste.